This is Future Talk.
Future Talk.
Future Talk with Omnia Al Saleh and Hani Balkis.
Happy 49th UAE National Day. Today is a very special episode right here on Future Talk because we are celebrating the place that we are lucky to call home. And if you've lived long enough right here in the UAE, you would know that agriculture holds a very special place in the hearts of many Emiratis as well as expats. And this is the day we're going to be talking about one form of trees that has definitely been a sign of tolerance and survival right here in the UAE. The Ghaf tree is the discussion of today because we're going to be talking about a tech startup right here in the UAE that has managed to plant over 4,000 Ghaf trees in Sharjah alone in less than an hour using custom-built drones. And the startup is actually called CAFU. And today we are joined by Nabra Al Busaidi, who's going to be telling us all about how this technology has been coming in handy.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Hani.
It's a pleasure having you on. Now, let's kickstart this conversation by asking you, what is the main aim behind the Raf Tree project?
So it's all about combating climate change and creating a sustainable future. So last year, CAFU pledged and committed to planting 1 million trees. And since then, we've made great strides towards progress in the research and development of the drone technology, but also the seed biology of the actual Raf tree to ensure, of course, successful planting. And this type of planting mechanism that we're actually building in-house is not being used elsewhere in the region at the moment. So we're really filling in that knowledge gap and planting at scale. And, you know, as a business, CAFU cares about the environment and the community in which it operates in. So to commemorate the second year anniversary, to really celebrate our second year anniversary, CAFU has announced launching its sustainability deal. So this is our strategy to become carbon neutral. And of course, I joined CAFU 6 months ago. So my role as a sustainability and community manager is to really drive this vision. And in addition, we're also really happy to share that CAFU has aligned with the United Nations Sustainability Goal number 13 of climate action. And we've enrolled ourselves into the accelerator program of the United Nations that starts in January. So this is basically a 6-month program that will really enable us to embed sustainability practices into our operations as a whole.
Absolutely. Now, the Ghaf tree is known as the UAE's national tree. It has a special place in the heart of the UAE's culture. A lot of us may be wondering, how will the use of the drone technology protect those precious seeds whenever they are being implanted in the soil? And will using drones increase the chances of these seeds actually growing and germinating?
So in 2019, as you said at the start, the Raf tree was marked as a symbol of tolerance, and it's the indigenous tree of the UAE. So some interesting facts and features of the Raf tree: its roots can grow up to 80 meters below the soil. It's one of the sturdiest desert plants as well, which requires very, very minimal water and care. And this is some of the reasons why we've chosen to actually plant this tree. So one Raf tree can absorb up to around 35 kilograms of carbon dioxide. So imagine what a million could do when planted. Regarding the protection of the seeds and successful planting, so this is done in 2 aspects. So one important aspect, of course, is the seed biology. And the second is the actual drone technology. So in 28th of November 2019, so exactly a year ago, CAFU embarked in the first pilot stage planting. So we planted, as you said, 4,000 seeds. And ever since then, it's been a learning curve for us. So we've enhanced our research with regards to the seed biology. We've partnered with a Sharjah startup called Merlin Eco Green Technologies. So they're helping us test the viability of these Ghaf seeds. And also, when we planted the 4,000 seeds a year ago, we did what we call surface seeding. So we sprayed the Ghaf seeds using a drone across the surface of the land. So after we refined our methods and, as I said, conducted more research, we noticed that we actually need to be planting these seeds below the surface to a certain depth. And this is where, obviously, with enhanced R&D, we said that we would be coating these seeds with a protective layer and forming seed balls. And that's what we'll be planting. And of course, our drone technology, which are a group of very talented engineers, are building and assembling in-house.
Absolutely amazing. Now, the UAE has deployed technology in endless sectors. Now, how do you envision the UAE's use of technology in the next 50 years in the field of agriculture?
Of course, UAE has always been at the forefront of embracing innovation and technology, and most recently, particularly in the agricultural industry. So as a tech company, we believe that everyone can play a role. And of course, we're very passionate of using technology for good. And in particular, a few weeks ago, the government announced that, the UAE is going to become a hub for research and development for drone technology. So this is absolutely fantastic news for us.
Absolutely, and we definitely are very proud that the UAE is actually a hub for innovation and, as you mentioned, drone technology. Sustainability and Community Manager at CAFU, Nabra Al Busaidi, thank you so much for joining us and telling us more.
Thank you so much.
About how Ghaf trees will be a lot more widespread in Sharjah and the rest of the UAE.
Thank you so much for coming on the show with us. Hope you have a great National Day. I hope everyone listening does have a great National Day, as well as expats across the UAE do call the UAE home.
Yes, indeed. Pulse 95 is still celebrating with you all, so keep Pulse 95 locked, and we'll be right back.
If you liked this episode of Future Talk, drop a like and subscribe.
Pulse 95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.